let's get ready to start our first activity. Today, we're going to have a go at making a marbled effect painting. Now, don't worry if you don't have any paint at home, because we are going to have a really good try at making our own paint using some things that you might have around the house. So, let's have a look at what we need. First of all, we need a baking tray. So normally we find this in the kitchen, but don't forget to ask your grown-ups first if you can use it for our messy activity today. We also need some shaving foam. This can be normally found in the bathroom, but you may have to ask daddies, granddads, older brothers if you can use it first. We have some food colouring, and I've gone for a lovely pink colour today, sticking with our love theme, but you can use whatever colour you have in your house. Now I've gone for a liquid food colouring today. You can also use the tube food colourings too. It's completely up to you. Again, it doesn't have to be pink. It can be whatever colour you have in your house. We also need a piece of paper as well. This is what our painting's going to be on. And we also need a spoon. It can be a tablespoon or a teaspoon. We're going to use the end of the spoon to create our marble effect. You might also need to put a little tablecloth or a large piece of paper or some newspapers on the table too, just so we don't make a mess. Okay, let's get ready to get creative. Okay. Hopefully you've got all the things you need so we can begin to create our marbled effect painting. Now, I've put my baking tray on the table, and underneath I put a large piece of paper just to protect the table so I don't make too much of a mess making our painting today. So the next thing we need is our shaving foam, and I'm going to shake the can and I'm going to spray the shaving foam into the baking tray. I'm going to be very careful, and sometimes it can be a little bit tricky to get the foam out of the tube. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now we are going to use some of our food colouring. And again, I've chosen pink today to carry on with our love theme. But again, you can choose whatever colour you have in your house. You might want to try green, you could try blue, you could try using lots of different colours and making a bit of a rainbow picture. It's completely up to you. You are making it for the person you love, so you know what colour they like the most. So I'm going to take my teaspoon and I'm going to pour some food colouring very carefully onto the spoon, and then I'm going to just sprinkle some of the food colouring onto some of the foam. Now I don't want to cover it all because I want some of the shaving foam still to be white. That's how we're going to create our marble effect. I'm going to put my spoon down because we might not need that again in a little bit. So you can see this is what it looks like at the moment, look. Now, this is where we're going to need the end of our spoon. Okay, so using the end of your spoon, we're going to mix the food colouring into the shaving foam. There we go. You see it's starting to create a little bit of a marble effect at the moment. So you can move your spoon in circles, you can move it in zigzag shapes. There we go, move it about. And you can see that actually we've created a really lovely pattern in our foam. It looks like a marbled, rippled effect. There we go. I think that looks lovely. Do it a bit more. Okay, you can add a little bit more on if you want the colour to be a little bit darker. And then you're going to put a little tiny bit more on just over here. Again, I'm going to use the end of the teaspoon. It's a good job I've put the piece of paper on the table. Getting a little bit messy. There we go. Okay. And that is what our shaving foam looks like. A nice marbled effect. Now we're going to take our piece of paper and we're going to place our piece of paper over the shaving foam. There we go. Now we're not going to press it down too hard. We're going to press it down very gently because we want the pattern from the shaving foam to transfer onto our piece of paper. So just pat it very, very gently. There we go. And you'll be able to see on the paper some of the food colouring transferring through. There we go. Okay, should we have a sneaky peek? There we go, and when you're happy, you've just got to gently pull away the paper from the shaving foam. Like that, look. And then we should be left with a lovely marbled effect painting. Now, it's a bit wet at the moment, so we've got to put it somewhere where it can dry before we then start to make something with it. So I'm going to put it on our paint rack in nursery. So if you don't have a paint rack, maybe you could put it on a windowsill. You could put it on a table, somewhere where it won't get knocked about, and somewhere where you can leave it to dry, and then later you can come back to it and you can make a special mobile with it. And that's what I'm going to show you how to do next. Okay, so go and put your painting somewhere very, very safe. Let's get ready to get creative with another activity.